Welcome to another behind the scenes look on the NRG 0277 channel. Today I'm going to show you how we do specific special effects. First off, I'm going to show you how we do a basic smoke effect. Now, in a lot of my early videos we would use something like dryer sheets and hold them over the camera. Of course they would be used dryer sheets because used dryer sheets are usually a lot more see-through-ish, so they'll look a little more like actual smoke rather than what looks like a crumpled dryer sheet on the screen. Or sometimes we would actually, when filming, I would tear them and slightly hang them over the screen to make it look like there was smoke forming on top of a room. Sometimes I'd hold it close to the camera so it would get all blurry. Another smoke effect that I've recently done is for the second episode of Rabbit's Fleet. This is a basic mountain set, and you can't see much, but right behind it, behind all the trees in the mountains, is where I placed an incense candle. Now, an incense candle will oftentimes be placed on a little plate, like, say, for example, this little coin here. I would place the incense candle on there, and we would light it, we'd let it get down to here, and smoke would start spewing out of it. Now, when we first started testing it, the smoke wasn't very visible, as it was very light smoke due to it being an incense candle. So what we did was, we filmed it against a light green, or light blue. We filmed it against a blue screen, or more or less blue. I'm having trouble saying this, hang on. We filmed it against a sky blue backdrop that was a sheet, and because of the way we had the lighting on it, the smoke, the very light smoke, would actually have a shadow casted onto the back of it. You know, the smoke would have a shadow casted onto the blue backdrop, and it would make the smoke look darker. And this can actually be seen in my video, episode 2 of the Rabbit's Fleet. So this next effect will involve this black background that is used to represent space in our little series. Now, this shade of black is a form of matte black, which, ironically enough, I bought a thing of paint for. So what I did for the effect was, I painted a wooden dowel, except for the handlebar side, which is unpainted, and I placed some super glue onto the dowel, and I painted that black. I pasted a black Lego base plate onto it right there, you can see it, and with that, I can simply connect this ship to that, and given some specific lighting, I can make it look like that the rod isn't there, because it's the same shade of black that the backdrop is. Now, sometimes this will work. As you can see, it's sort of blending in with the background, but given how we're filming this right now as sort of a demonstration, you can still see the rod. See it? Well, if I had specific lighting on, you wouldn't be able to see it, but if I position the rod in a different way, it would kind of blend in with the background. And this next effect is actually a rather new one that has recently been used in the second episode of Rabbit's Fleet, which is also the first video to use voice splicing clips instead of me talking over footage like I'm doing right now. And the way I make the ship float, more specifically Buck's ship float, was, as you can see with the lighting, it's attached to fishing line, invisible fishing line that I have hooked up to this little rig that I made from a coat hanger. Now, you can hold it with one hand, or you can hold it with two, and holding it with two is mostly to make the ship take off and stuff, and I'll demonstrate this right now. Alright, here I go. See, we're going to make it take off with just one hand. It looks like that. Now, it kind of looks a little unrealistic, but if I wanted it to look a little more realistic, I would do two hands, which would look like this. See? Now those are the easy effects to do, but what if you want to do an explosion? Now, doing an explosion is very hard. In fact, in a lot of my earlier videos, an explosion was usually portrayed by the camera shaking and a character flying in on screen, something like this. Maybe you won't notice. What the... But as time progressed with my channel, I actually started doing other things to represent other explosions. Like, for example, I would use a square light and flash it for maybe a second or a millisecond on screen to represent a flash, followed up by hiding the light behind flame pieces to make it look like there was a small fire. It looked something like this. One. Now that was a visible explosion. But what if I wanted to do another off-screen explosion and I just didn't want to shake the camera? Well, a simple trick would be to have my red light off camera and make it slowly go up to look like a fireball just went up into the sky after an explosion, which looks something like this. Well, look on the bright side. At least it didn't explode. That means we can just simply put the fire out and then get some. My big mouth and me. Now, as for green screen explosions, this is how I actually film green screen explosions. I'll just take a video like this of a green screen explosion, and I would play it like this. But the thing is, for my little show like the Rabbids Fleet, you can obviously see parts of the green screen, because I don't own a computer, so I can't really download the videos and chroma key out the green screen. I don't know how to use chroma key either. But I'm doing the best I can with the materials I have right now, and it's that particular video right there that I use from Animated Extreme that I use for the explosion effect, and other explosion videos that I use. Now I know some people would see parts of the green screen and probably call it rushed, but the thing is, look at the length of the Rabbids Fleet shorts. They're at best 3 to 4 minutes, so they're going to be a little rushed, but a lot of care did go into those shorts. Not only that, but the zoomed-in, over-the-top explosions they sort of go with the action-esque and little comedy style of the show, as it's one of the few shows I made for my channel that doesn't have the characters constantly swearing. But yeah, anyways, this has been NRG0277 behind the scenes, and this has been how we do special effects here. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe.